Alrighty YouTube, we're getting ready to do the showdown video for the Cymex versus the Eco versus a 175. The Eco's an orbiter, in case you guys are wondering, orbital pad machine. Let's go ahead and walk through the different machines and discuss the features of each one. Okay guys, so all three of these machines have a variety of different types of pads and bonnets, and you know, that could be a place for a different video. They all three though are pretty equally matched. They all have gravity feed systems. None of them have a sprayer setup, and they're all designed to be able to encapsulation clean carpet as well as do VLM. So you may be wondering, how am I able to tell the difference? Well, we're going to go around with the GoPro. We're going to clean with all three machines, and we're going to show you what I think as I work. That's the best way to handle this situation. You know, it's kind of messy. There's strong opinions in the industry, but I think one of these machines really stands out as an outlier, and it is a very trustworthy go-to option that can't lead you astray, really. So let's get going in the cleaning action. You know, Matthew's running the vacuum right now. We're getting ready to go. We're going to tear this place up, make it look gorgeous. You know, once again, super high customer satisfaction rate. And you can pull that off even though you have three different forms of agitation. It'll all look the same when we're done, because we're going to final groom once again, because, you know, grooming's super important. We're going to final groom with the CRB. You know, there's a reason we didn't include the CRB on this, is the CRB, counter-rotating brush machine, where it can do encapsulation, it's not really great at being a primary VLM tool. Yeah, it does encapsulation really darn well, but it can't gather any of the soil on its own. It doesn't have any way of encapsulating it into a pad. So, you know, even though it's an in-cap machine, it's kind of not really part of this challenge. You know, another thing that we're going to discuss later as we're walking around with the video is wear. Wear is a super issue. You know, some people are like, well, the Carpet and Rug Institute doesn't improve all those different machines. Well, here's the thing. Even though some of these machines may void warranties in certain circumstances, I'm going to set up the exact scenario they used to determine the warranties, and we're going to show that in more of a clinical setting in my garage. You know, we'll set up there and we'll show you guys what they did, which is really hard on carpet and isn't exactly what you do when carpet cleaning. You know, a qualified technician isn't going to ruin carpet with any of these machines under any circumstances. They're going to know what they're doing, and they're going to know if something's under warranty, and they're going to know what to do and what not to do. You know, because a professional's always learning, always making themselves better. Just like a professional will make that extra step, do that extra step that their competitors won't do. A professional's going to learn as much as possible. They're going to think it through, and they're going to think it clean, you know. So let's get this going, and let's get to the cleaning action. Okay guys, so we're going to discuss running a floor machine and why a floor machine is such a valuable tool and why you should pick one up. Now the first thing is we're going to pre-moisten. We're using a scrub pad. We're going to go over it. Now this carpet's really regularly maintained, so it's not an issue. But as you can tell, there's quite a bit of motion to a floor machine, and there's a lot of wear and tear on the body, swinging it side to side. They're commonly called swing machines. Which gives, though, the best cleaning result? Well, that's super relative. They're really darn good at just about everything. Every carpet cleaner, I think, and cleaning person, period, should probably consider having a floor machine as part of their regular arsenal. If you have a floor machine, you can strip and wax floors, you can polish marble, you can shoot. I can't really think of much floor care wise that you can't do with a standard floor machine. It's by far one of the most useful tools you can own to operate with. And it gives a very good result when pad capping, which is what we're going to be doing today. What we're doing right now is we're applying the solution with the scrub pad. Now we're going to go back over and re-scrub the area backing out of the area. Now we got a little too damp. Been a while since I've ran one. I'm used to using the Cymex, which I can move faster with, which on big glue down is ideal. And I'm moving a little slow because I'm talking as I'm walking, working. So as you can tell, with just straight up scrubbing and straight up encapsulation, most certainly a floor machine can get that done. Now let's go ahead and show you what you can do as far as a straight up pad cap with it. We're going back over the carpet that we just had cleaned with a bonnet under it, or an accumulator pad, or an extraction pad, or whatever phrase you want to call it. But we're going back over the area. Now if you notice, I can be quite productive. I can actually move faster than I am, especially on such a low soil condition carpet. Once you get used to running a floor machine, you'll find them not all that labor intensive. They kind of pull themselves along, and you'll be able to operate them with just 2 fingers. I mean, it's not rocket science to operate one. As you can see, you know, you go up, it goes to the right. You go down on the handle, it goes to the left. Up, right, down, left. I would say east and west, but that doesn't apply if you don't know the direction I'm standing. So, you know, once again, and you can do straight up pad capping with it, which is where you apply solution through the bonnet and or spray it down, or however you need to apply it, you can apply it. You notice it's very, very productive. Makes the carpet look terrific, really pops it, makes it smell amazing, works amazing. So what are some of the disadvantages of a floor machine? Well, the biggest disadvantage is learning curve. There is a learning curve to it. So for those of you guys that are starting out, you have to learn to be able to run one. In order to run one, it'll take you putting it on a standard concrete floor and playing with it. Once again, it's not rocket science, but if you've never done it before, it can beat you up a little bit. So make sure that you don't get yourself beat up, and practice before you go to your first job. You know, if you have a buddy's house, go and practice at your buddy's house. But once again, the floor machine is probably one of the most valuable tools you can ever have, and it definitely is the lowest cost of all 3 of these machines, and has a major advantage because of that cost. Its versatility is honestly one of the most crazy things ever. You will not find a more versatile machine on the market than a floor machine, but once again, there is a learning curve to it, so it may not be for every single guy. So we're going to wrap up with the floor machine before I do my sit down. Next up is the Okay, so we have the Cymex now ready to go. You know, if it was a contest of the beauty and the beast, this would definitely be the beast, because the Cymex machine is one of those tools that is beastly. I mean, look at it. It's just massive. Now, this is a concrete grinding model, but I can assure you that all the Cymex machines that you buy are awesome. They're super well constructed. Now, it's super easy to run a Cymex machine. The handle adjustment is right here. Now, it can have a side-to-side motion as well, as we'll show in just a second, but let's get to some cleaning. So you first want to dampen your pads. And you do that by pulling this handle right here. You'll notice water goes through that hose. Once again, it's another gravity feed setup. We're going to get going on that. Here, see those pads, and you see the motion of that head. Now that will flatten out as the pads get wore in. With the Cymex, you trigger on going forward, and then you just let off the trigger and you can go immediately back. And look at those results already. I mean, boom. It is a fast machine too. It is possibly way faster than the other scrubbers as far as the amount of square footage you can get done. It is fast. And it doesn't take much operator ability either. That's one advantage of both the Cymex specifically, is the operator level is probably the least of all three machines in the competition, because you really can't go wrong with it as far as operator goes. And as far as pad capping, yes, you can pad cap, but you're having to change 3 pads every time you're doing a pad cap process with it. So that's one disadvantage, is you have a little bit more time when it comes to it. Now I'm going to show you that side-by-side action. Look at that. You just lift up on the handle and you just navigate it by lifting hard on your left hand or your right hand with those wheels off the ground. Not exactly great though at it. Now let's talk about the disadvantages of a Cymex machine. Boy, there's a couple. One of the biggest disadvantages, it's a beast. Once again, you're having to decide whether you want to bring that elephant into the china cabinet when you take it into a home. Would not probably recommend this tool for residential use. It would be a little burdensome to pull off. I'm not saying you can't. I know there's guys out there that do, and I'm guilty myself. I've done it a few times. Another disadvantage of the Cymex machine is they are heavy. And by heavy, I mean they're forward heavy. When you go to load and unload them, I really like using a ramp. This is the concrete model, so it really doesn't count in comparison to the others, the standard model. But it is a bit of a beast either way. All the machines are hard to use in the Cymex family as far as loading and unloading. They're easy to operate though. I mean, if you can handle pushing a lawnmower, you can handle the operation of a Cymex machine. As far as understanding the chemistry and how much chemistry to apply, you know, that's where you have to learn through practice, essentially. You have to be on the job. So, what do I have to say about it? Get one. If you don't have a Cymex machine, I would highly recommend having one for VLM. But I have this to say, they do like to put out a lot of water. You do have to move fast. If you're a slow cleaner, not the best tool. If you're methodical, man, it isn't probably for you, because these things like to push the pace of even me at my age of 43. It likes to push me. I have to move pretty quick with it because I'll put down too much water too quickly. I have to really feather the handle control on it. But is it impressive with what it does? Oh, absolutely. By far the most simple to operate as far as ease of use behind it and being the operator. At the end of the day, you know, its weight does add up. You know, it's harder to push at the end of the day because it weighs more. Big wheel kit is a necessity if you're buying a Cymex machine. You have to get one with the big wheel kit. If it has the standard wheels, you're asking for trouble. It will beat you up. It won't be your friend. It'll treat you all sorts of bad. You'll end up divorcing from it. The big wheels are absolutely essential for being able to run it all day, every day. So keep that in mind, you know, when you're running one of these machines, is that the wheels you operate with will beat you up. The other thing I have to mention is these things are hard on pads. You do go through a lot of pads. If you're using it for pad capping, you'll find yourself going through quite a bit of pads, also pad capping with it. So keep that in mind as well. But it just hammers out square footage. You can, I would compare it to like having a automatic floor scrubber. As far as productivity, it is crazy what you can pull off in a day with a Cymex machine. The handles from the factory, I feel you should replace them with a more comfortable grip, but after that, you know, it's pretty awesome. So big wheel kit if you choose to buy one, comfier handles, ramps, and it's not that great in residential. However, I do know people that pull it off. I wouldn't use it there. But what does it do as far as carpet wear? Well, that's in the next video. Enjoy that one coming up. Okay, so it's time for the Eco and my thoughts on the Eco. The Eco is a really good machine, really well built. It does a lot for you. This is the light model, and it doesn't normally come with the tank. Now, if you buy one with the sprayer kit, it's considerably better. I'm not a big fan of gravity feed in this case, and I'll show you why. It's a little messy, but once again, this machine didn't come with the gravity feed. I modified it to have it. It's my own doing. So, you know, let's get to work with it, and I'm going to show you what I do first is get the handle adjusted. Like the handle adjustment position, pretty decent, pretty good. And as far as picking it up, you know, it will go side to side on its own by lifting each side of the handle. So let's get to work with it. We're first going to get a little dampness in the pad, a little moisture in the pad, and hit the switch. Once it's turned on, it stays on. That's one nice thing. Now, I know people that have modified their Cymex to do that. Never do that with a 175. It'll take off. And if you notice, they are considerably louder. But they kind of, with gravity feed, they do make a mess. Machine to use. It's very maneuverable, that's for sure, but it is loud. The pad flapping against the carpet and all the motion. Easiest machine to push by quite a bit, and it is fast. This is only a 14-inch model. Easiest to use as far as like pushing it, the least effort. Very maneuverable. It can do side to side. Which is nice. brushing goes, we'll show that in the garage. It's very aggressive, that's for sure. Okay guys, so it's time for me to give you my concluding thoughts as I walk around and check my work. Simply put guys, they're all three awesome machines. I know, kind of a cop-out, right? Well, here's the thing. If you're going for speed, it's a toss-up between a Cymex and any awesome OB. There's a lot of great OBs out there. I don't own all of them. And I do know that, you know, Trendy claims to be the best, but then again, there's guys that own the Orbot and says it absolutely rocks. And I have this to say, Orbot owners seem like nice people, so I'm not going to call any of them liars. The other thing that we have to consider is they all three did the job that they were intended to do. You know, and that's get carpet clean very quickly. So here's how I personally going to rank them as far as speed on commercial glue down. The loser on speed is the traditional floor machine, no question. The winner on speed with my machines, without question, is of course the Cymex. Now I think the largest training machine of course could keep up with it, and I also think that, you know, the mighty Eco is a great machine as well. Owning an Eco, I can say that it has treated me fairly well. We have put it and beat it down. Now on residential, because I have experience with residential in these machines, oh boy, I like both the floor machine and the Eco kind of equally. There is times that a floor machine can just get in spots that an Eco can't. I know. And as far as how they clean, maybe the floor machine's just a teeny tiny bit slower on residential. It's not an answer anybody wants to hear, but it's my viewpoint after using both for well over a few months now. But let's turn you guys around and we'll give you guys the opportunity to see the carpet that we cleaned. So here's the carpet. This is where we start with the Cymex machine, and I mean with the floor machine. We went through the floor machine all the way through here. All floor machine work right through here. This section was floor machine work. And it turned out awesome. Just looks incredible. You know, no issues, no problems, no complaints. Of course, I'm not going to get any complaints, and if I do, I fix it. So, and over here we start with the Cymex machine. Now if you notice, the Cymex turned out great as well, just terrific results. Over here, more Cymex, because we're, you know, it just hammers out area. Now, because the Eco is loud, and that's one of my issues with OBs, is they are kind of loud because you hear that pad flapping around. We use the Eco from here on, and we have high-speed footage of that, us using the Eco through there, and you know, it turned out really good too. You know, no issues. I'm going to have to just film the carpet itself and show you guys what it's like in here. Matthew moved all the stuff and put it all back, and you know, made it look just terrific. And you know, if you look around, it just a typical waiting area. I mean, not waiting area, but reception area. And over through here, he cleaned with the Eco through here. We got all that on high speed, and it does a great job. I mean, no issues to be had with any of these machines. And that's one of the things I want to emphasize, is that you don't really have issues using any of these machines. And I've seen endless debates about which is the better machine. Honestly, they're all three awesome. If I was to own only one, and I could only own one machine, it would be a floor machine. So there, I said it. If I could only own one machine, it would be a floor machine and a vacuum, because I'm not cleaning carpet without vacuuming. Jeez, come on, people. Make yourself professional. Don't be silly. I mean, I get it. Some of you have different business models, but can't run a vacuum? Come on, run a vacuum. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Join our Facebook group where we can continue the conversation. I do live feeds there from time to time. We're gonna, I have several live feeds that I have recorded and also put on YouTube. And once again, I appreciate all of you. You're all awesome. It's just incredible what we're pulling off over here. I hope this is insightful. And look, in the future, we're going to be showing the footage of these machines on carpet, with a wear of carpet with these three machines. But we're going to have to do that in more of a clinical setting. I kind of brought that up because I'm not going to do it here. I mean, come on, it's a customer's job. But I got some remnant carpet, and we're going to be seeing which one kills carpet the fastest. We're going to set a stopwatch, put it on there, and just beat the snot out of it. A lot of people beat up on the 175, but I think if you're a skilled technician, you'll never ruin a thing with a 175, and I don't care who says what. I've never had a warranty claim, never will, don't see it happening. Just be good at what you do. Learn. Always think it through, and grow from the experience. But thank you for watching once again. Subscribe. Talk to you guys later.